Hello everyone, welcome to StarTalks powered by Advotalks. We have with us Ms. Sammanika Rawat, who has joined us to talk about the legal career coach and intricacies in the legal career coaching. And we have Sammanika Rawat's experience into the area of the legal career coaching. She has been the founder of YLCC, which is Your Legal Career Coach. She studied at NUJS in Kolkata and worked as a corporate lawyer with big clients like Sidco, Mumbai Metro, and Ministry of Shipping, and many others. She has also been an environmental activist, making a real difference at the grassroots level. She has joined us in StarTalks to share her valuable expertise on tips to build a successful legal career. I should admit that I'm quite excited to host her. With that, I warmly welcome Samanika Rawat to the talk show Star Talks powered by Advotalks.
Thank you so much for the kind invitation, and I really hope we are able to add value to our audience through this conversation.
Absolutely. So let's start with some of the main pressing points that as it challenges basically and the misconceptions about the legal professionals face while navigating their careers and how one can actually overcome these obstacles. Can you throw us some light on this, Samanika?
Yes, definitely. So to begin with, firstly, in law school, when we are studying law, usually the common misconception is that there are only three options available. One is litigation, one is corporate, and then competitive exams like judiciary and UPSC. So, how most of the students, especially the first generation students, take their decision is that litigation में जाना है कि नहीं जाना है, because some or the other दीदी भैया says that oh 10 साल तो आपके जवानी के waste हो जाएंगे if you are entering into litigation, and then you think that no, we don't want to do that hustle, so maybe we want to look for other alternates, and then you look at judiciary and UPSC, but then somebody says oh state wise there are very limited seats, there's state quota, there's that language barrier and other stuff, plus the competition level is pretty high, and there is no guarantee, so you spend like at least 1 or 2 years in your preparation, and then you don't may not end up securing a job. Also within competitive vertical also, people are usually aware of only judiciary and UPSC, and there are so many others which nobody tells them about in law school. So then ultimately the rat race begins towards corporate. This is one word we hear in law school, and somebody says oh there's a lot of money in corporate, but nobody actually tells you what comes within corporate, or for that matter for litigation, or for that matter for other competitive exams. So this is where the challenge begins, that firstly there is no institution which is focusing on sensitizing students or making them aware about what all career options are there. If I'll be very honest with you, there are more than 70 career options available for a law graduate, but because we have a very myopic viewpoint when we are in law school, as well as when we step out of law school in the initial 2 3 years, we just like say that we want a cop job, and again within cop also we don't know what else to pursue. So that is where the challenge in our legal career begins, and then in the name of corporate you end up joining any or every organization. Firstly, people don't know the difference between a law firm and in-house, what to expect, what not to expect. But even for those people who do understand, they say अच्छा ठीक है, corporate मतलब हमें कंपनी में जाना है, अभी कंपनी में किस तरीके की कंपनी, किस रोल में जाना है, दे आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ. सो आई हैव सीन अगेन, एंड दिस इज फ्रॉम बोथ साइड्स, लाइक even from the student side as well as from the recruiter side. Now I am seeing that lot of organizations which do not have a fancy law firm related portfolio, but they somehow fall within the corporate vertical
Right.
just to exploit the youngsters. They are now putting their vacancies in the name of renowned law firm, and if you dive deeper into their job description, you realize that all they are doing is the LPO work. But people are joining them, spending few years thinking कि अरे हमें कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा, we'll get a decent paycheck. So that desperation to earn a paycheck is so much that students are not taking rational decisions, and because this is something which is not done at the grassroots level, they suffer इन द लॉन्गर रन, बिकॉज
Right.
स्टार्टिंग में
Right.
यही होता है कि थोड़ा सा पैसा कमा लें, घर वालों को दिखा लें, ओ वी वांट जॉब सिक्योरिटी, फाइनेंशियल सिक्योरिटी, बट later when you realize that oh shit, where am I actually stuck, and
Right.
that hits you really bad, and then it at times it's pretty late to make the changes. So
Right.
yes.
So you have brought in the right point that there are more than 70 profiles actually or roles probably a person from the legal career can actually choose from. So I'm trying to kind of think what are those different roles other than the traditional roles. That is something
Mhm.
that I want you to kind of make me understand, and also give some skills and competencies that the legal professionals should develop, and focusing on such skills so that they can grab enough profiles and roles, which are wide and variety in the market.
Right. So, firstly, whenever you're looking for as a participant or as a prospective employee, if you're looking for a role, don't look for a broader umbrella. Of course, all these 60, 70 roles fall within these broader verticals of litigation corp and let's say competitive exams only. But within that, you have to filter. Like, for example, I could be working in a corporate role and you could be working in a corporate role, but in completely different capacities and different roles and responsibilities, right? So, like when we talk about corporate, especially the law firm related corporate roles, it starts from general corporate, then it goes to banking, finance, PVC, your caps market, your M&A, and stuff like that. So, again, within a firm, the roles will depend and differentiate. There is an aspect of banking finance which overlaps with the corporate side, and there is an aspect of banking finance which overlaps with the commercial litigation side as well. So accordingly, then you have to demarcate that what exactly are you looking for. Similarly, when you look for arbitration for that matter, now arbitration again, there is commercial arbitration, there is non-commercial arbitration, there is interborder, there is construction arbitration these days. A lot of new avenues are coming up within the same broader vertical. Now people say we want to become a tech lawyer now that the AI and chat GPT and a lot of buzzwords are there in the market. So people say we want to get into AI or technology. But again, what within technology, there is fintech, there is blockchain, there is cryptocurrency, there is cyber laws, there is data privacy. So again, you have to narrow down further in terms of within that broader vertical, what all are you doing. A cyber lawyer purely doing litigation practice may not be very much well versed with crypto and blockchain at present, or may not actually be dealing with a lot of data privacy matters. Of course, things do overlap at a certain place. Like in law, there is no one subject which goes independently, but still, like you could be doing one very small aspect of it and may not be majorly handling the other aspect. Similarly, like in law school, there is this one subject which is never taught about, or one domain which is never introduced to students, which is your infrastructure. एंड आप अगर ध्यान से देखेंगे, आई हैव बीन नोटिसिंग फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर की पिछले 3 कॉन्जिक्यूटिव स्पीचेस जो रही हैं बजट की, every time she has focused on infrastructural development, private, public private partnership. So infrastructure jitna the national government will focus on infrastructural development of the country, उतना ही आपको इस फील्ड में लीगल काम आएगा. Right, so
Right,
that
right.
way you have to connect dots, and that way you have to create opportunities for yourself. Now you say what are the skill sets will depend on what area you are choosing. And I always tell people that look for your personal life interest, because आप लॉ फर्म की वो रैट रेस में दौड़ना तो शुरू कर देते हैं, बट देन उससे एक सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज ये हो जाता है कि आप जो एट्रिशन रेट देखते हैं लॉ फर्म्स का, इट इज सो हाई. Like 2 years to 7 years PQE pay, most of the law firms are empty, like even including the big law firm. So if the law firm job is so satisfactory, then why are people quitting within 2 years? It happens because you don't do this calculation ki, is this actually my area of interest or not? Will I be able to do at least 5 years work in this domain or not? So then what happens is first year you are like learning also, there's a lot of pressure, you are just like in the race, in the pipeline. So with the pressure, you just survive, and also the comfort of that paycheck. Again, in the second year, to some extent, the paycheck also keeps you ordered. But after that, suddenly you realize that what am I doing? So then, why don't you do that analysis beforehand to understand what your personal life interests are, and then club it with an area of interest. For example, with an area of law. For example, आपको खाना पसंद है. These days you have Zomato, Swiggy, and lot of other food tech companies which are hiring lawyers. Go join them. If you are more inclined towards travel and you have those kind of hobbies, then Make My Trip, Indigo, Vistara, Air India, all of these have their legal teams. You can join them. Similarly, if you're like, for example, I was very much passionate about joining the armed forces. So there is a procurement team within law firms which does lot of defense forces ka procurement work, and I luckily got an opportunity to work on such matters during my law firm this thing. So then your, of course, difficult है, क्योंकि वो आपको कंफर्ट जोन से ज्यादा स्ट्रेच करता है, तो ऑब्वियसली वो चीज आपको डिफिकल्ट लगती है। लॉ के करियर की इनिशियल 3-4 इयर्स की जर्नी बहुत ही ज्यादा अनकंफर्टेबल भी लगती है, बिकॉज अगेन इट पुल्स यू आउट ऑफ योर कंफर्ट जोन, फ्रॉम अ स्टूडेंट फेज टू अ प्रोफेशनल फेज, वो थियोरेटिकल को प्रैक्टिकल में इम्प्लाई करने में। बट वो फिर आपको बहुत ज्यादा टॉक्सिक नहीं लगेगी, बहुत ज्यादा फोर्सफुल नहीं लगेगी, if it is related to your area of interest. Now,
Right.
for example, just day before I was mentoring one student. Her She always wanted to become a doctor, but ended up pursuing law. And now she got an opportunity to, and then in law school she was more inclined towards studying technology law subjects. So then she made this combination for herself, which is health tech, that healthcare companies ke sath she'll be doing tech related work. And because she wanted to pursue medicine, she had a biology background. She is more comfortable with the terminology. So obviously, tomorrow, if she becomes a health tech lawyer, she will be able to enjoy it also. And even the clients will be able to get better work from her in comparison to maybe from myself, who is not from medicine background or biology background. And then I'll have to like figure out every single thing.
Right,
So
right. I
that way,
think
you
like,
have to polish. Yeah.
yeah, I think like the perceptions are also something that play a major role. People should have a kind of, a different perception about, how we can actually tune in the career opportunities. Having said that, there are numerous avenues which can be touched upon based on a personalized interest. As you said, something back in the kind of, back home. So how things are kind of going to change for a couple of years down the lane, or maybe 5 years from now, is something that should be kind of pressing me to choose something. You have rightly brought the examples of choosing based on the passion. I'm pretty much getting that, the freshers and the people who are under that bracket of 2 to 7 years like you brought in are going to definitely get benefited out of this conversation. Samanika, let's move a bit ahead. So, say for those people who are actually already kind of established in a particular profile, say one professional is into arbitration, he may be like into construction arbitration or something else, like you mentioned, and has a significant esteemed, organization working experience, and he's looking for more of a kind of, how they can enhance their probably I should say the personal brand to make it more influential to talk to people or kind of touch base on probably new avenues with the uprise of the you can say technology, or maybe on the market trend and stuff like that. So what are those key points that you suggest for those who are kind of experienced in
In
this
this
lot?
lot. So, if you're planning to build a personal brand, firstly, you have to choose what are you more comfortable with, because there is no one shoe fit all model I prefer to recommend. If you're more comfortable online, focus on building your brand online. If you're more comfortable with offline networking, go do offline networking. Even though the buzz is a lot about online networking, and I am very much active on social media and like both on LinkedIn as well as Instagram nowadays, but what I've honestly understood is that uh, AI might come and people say AI will replace humans, but it's not actually true. AI will only support humans. But people, again, the common man or anyone who wants to hire a lawyer still wants to have that personalized touch. So, whenever you are focusing on building your personal brand, that personalized touch has to be there for the person to understand that how can you help him. कॉमन मैन का क्वेरी बस एक लॉयर के पास आके ये नहीं होता है कि आप मुझे पूरा सब्जेक्ट समझाओ और ज्ञान दो। उसका सवाल बस इतना होता है, क्या मैं ऐसा कर सकता हूँ या नहीं, क्या मैं जीतूंगा या मैं हारूंगा, राइट? सो दैट वे इफ यू कुड सिंप्लीफाई थिंग्स फॉर योर प्रोस्पेक्ट, एंड वो आपको ऑफलाइन इवेंट्स में बहुत ज्यादा अच्छे से अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है इन कंपैरिजन टू ऑनलाइन इवेंट्स. दिस आई हैव पर्सनली नोटिस्ड, though I have been like for 2-3 years more inclined towards online repute. But for past 6 months, when I started stepping out and started meeting people and started talking to them, I realized it helped me a lot in like building trust amongst people, because एक वो ह्यूमन टच आ जाता है. Secondly, if you're planning to build a personal brand, writing newspaper articles, blogs, is the easiest thing you can do, because research paper एक CV के point of view से बहुत अच्छी चीज है, that you have quality publication. But most of these journals which publish quality papers are not freely available for common man to read, and they may not be actually going there to read. But common man क्या करता है, उसको गूगल करता है, कोई भी चीज उसको डाउट होता है वो गूगल करते हैं। तो अगर आप उसको ब्लॉग में लिखते हो, अगर आप किसी न्यूज़पेपर के आर्टिकल में लिखते हो, चांसेस है वो ज्यादा लोगों तक रीचेबिलिटी पहुंचेगी। तो जितना ज्यादा आप अपने एक्सपीरियंस को, लर्निंग्स को, थॉट्स को एक्सप्रेस करना चाहेंगे, आज की डेट में बहुत सारे लॉयर्स इंस्टाग्राम को भी यूज कर रहे हैं रील्स फॉर्मेट बना के। दैट इज ऑल्सो अ न्यू थिंग विच इज ट्रेंडिंग। व्हेन वी वर इन लॉ स्कूल देयर वाज नथिंग अवेलेबल ऑन यूट्यूब रिलेटेड टू इंडियन लॉज, बट आज की डेट में देर आर मोर देन 1000 वीडियोज अवेलेबल टू लर्न लॉट ऑफ स्टफ। एंड द मोमेंट somebody who whatever their challenge would be, जैसे आपने कंस्ट्रक्शन आर्बिट्रेशन बोला, अभी कंस्ट्रक्शन आर्बिट्रेशन लॉ फर्म्स में तो बड़े लेवल पे 100 CR से ऊपर के मैटर्स चल ही रहे हैं। बट अगर आपको मैं छोटे छोटे लेवल शहरों का बताऊं, आजकल हर शहर में मॉल्स, कॉम्प्लेक्सेस, ये फ्लैट्स बन रहे हैं, और उनसे रिलेटेड भी तो जितना डिस्प्यूट है वो कंस्ट्रक्शन आर्बिट्रेशन के ही डोमेन में आ रहा है। तो देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ सिमिलर वर्क हैपनिंग इन एंड अराउंड अस। द वॉल्यूम may not be of 100 CR or 500 CR, but even if it is, let's say, 20 CR or 30 CR, that is also a decent amount to have your local practice. So that way, अगर आप अपने ही wherever you come from, whichever city you come from, target local newspapers, contribute good quality articles. Newspapers को, press को भी बहुत जरूरत होती है, मीडिया को quality publication की। तो they will be more very happy to publish it, and उससे आप अपने localities में, अपने local areas में you could build your brand that can help you establish your branding.
Great. I think like the inputs like trying to come out with articles which are like burning kind of topics in the same area which you are working as an expertise, and also in the form of creating content, as you rightly said, the platforms like Instagram and LinkedIn, these can be definitely used, right, to kind of bring more attention and kind of traction towards your self. Moving to something which is like as a legal field itself, we know that it's more of a stress, and then kind of burnout kind of situations are very common in the fraternity that we keep hearing. And providing that, what kind of nature should be adopted by a legal professional, and how can the professional can actually maintain the work life balance when it comes to the legal field?
If I have to answer this question very honestly, मेरे दोस्त ने कुछ टाइम पहले मुझे एक बहुत ही मजाकिया बात बोली। ही इज अ सुप्रीम कोर्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग एडवोकेट। ही सेड लॉ जो है ना, एक शौक का प्रोफेशन है, हर किसी के लिए नहीं है। तो if you are entering this profession, firstly, don't have a victim mentality from day one, and don't have very clear demarcations of what you want and what you don't want. This is not that field, because it's not a job, it's a profession. So if you get into a profession of service, you are, like, you cannot fix your timelines from day one. आप थोड़ा सा 2-3 साल का एक्सपीरियंस गेन कर लीजिए, व्हेन योर थ्योरेटिकल एज वेल एज प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज इज बिल्ट, देन यू कैन हैव योर क्लियर एक्सपेक्टेशंस दैट ओके, आई एम गोइंग टू वर्क फॉर ओनली एक्स नंबर ऑफ आवर्स। बट अगर आप डे वन से एक्सपेक्टेशन रखते हैं दैट इट विल बी अ 10 to 6 और 10 to 7 काइंड ऑफ अ जॉब, यू आर बाउंड टू गेट बर्नड आउट, बिकॉज ये फील्ड ऐसा है ही नहीं। एंड इसलिए नहीं है बिकॉज एनीबडी हैज सेट टाइमलाइंस कि आपको 18 आवर्स काम करना है या 24 आवर्स काम करना है, या मे बी 26 आवर्स होते नहीं है, बट अगर होते तो शायद वो भी नहीं, ऐसा नहीं। It is because what we learn in law school is only the theory, and what we are expected to do or to perform is the practical side. So the senior only tells you what to do, but nobody honestly has a time to tell you how to do it. और वो पूरा जो टाइम इस फील्ड में जाता है वो यही फिगर आउट करने में जाता है कि हाउ टू डू इट। आपके पास कोई भी नया, किसी तरीके का नया आपको अग्रीमेंट बनाना है, शेयर होल्डर अग्रीमेंट बनाना है, शेयर परचेज अग्रीमेंट बनाना है, रिट पिटिशन ड्राफ्ट करनी है, पीआईएल ड्राफ्ट करनी है, कुछ भी आपको ऐसा काम करना है जो आपने पहले से नहीं किया है, तो उसको फिगर आउट करने में आपका टाइम लगता है। अब वो आपका कितना लेवल ऑफ एक्सपर्टीज है, आपसे हो सकता है कोई बहुत अच्छा हो, आप जो काम 3 घंटे में करते हो सकता है कोई हाफ एन आवर में कर दे, और हो सकता है कोई उसी काम को 5 आवर्स भी ले। तो सबकी अपनी अपनी स्पीड है इस फील्ड में। एंड इसी वजह से अगर आप द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट कंपेयरिंग कि अरे सामने वाला तो इतने, वो चेंबर में तो केवल 12 घंटे काम कराते हैं, हमारे चेंबर में 14 आवर्स काम करा रहे हैं, ये सारी चीजें सबसे पहले आप एक तरफ रख दीजिए। दूसरा चीज है कि बर्नआउट को, द बेस्ट वे टू नॉट गेट बर्नड आउट, लाइक आई मेंशन द प्रीवियस आंसर, इज ऑल्सो दैट आइडेंटिफाई व्हाट इज योर एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट एंड देन वर्क इन दैट डोमेन। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक कुछ कुछ ऐसी इंटर्नशिप्स होती थी ड्यूरिंग लॉ स्कूल डेज दैट आई यूज टू लाइक नॉट लाइक इट एट ऑल, बट बिकॉज कॉलेज के सीवी में दिखाना होता था, तो इस वजह से वी यूज टू डू। वहां पर लाइक वी यूज टू कैलकुलेट टाइम एवरी सिंगल आवर कि अच्छा इतने घंटे रह गए, अभी निकलना है निकलना। But when we used to come back, and because I was very much passionate to work around environment related causes, हमने संडेज को भी सुबह 5-5 6-6 बजे जाके नदी में उतर के सफाइयाँ करी है, एंड लाइक वी स्टिल नॉट फेल्ट burnt out. Why? Because the moment you connect something you're passionate with, then you, time and all these things don't matter so much because you're fully consumed in it. You're going with the flow. But the moment you do something which you are not interested in, it feels forceful and it leads to burnout. This is one. Second and most important thing, a lot of people these days are getting burnt out is because ये जो अमेरिकन सिटकॉम्स है या अमेरिकन टीवी शोज है, उनसे एक एक्सपेक्टेशन रख के आते हैं कि अच्छा सूट्स की तरह हमारी लाइफ होगी, ये लाइफस्टाइल होगा। तो वो पहले से जो फॉल सेट ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशंस माइंड में रहती हैं, वो जब मैच नहीं होती हैं तो भी बहुत बड़ा झटका लगता है। तीसरा चीज, अगर आजकल आप फ्रेशर से पूछो कि हाउ मच डू यू वांट टू, व्हाट इज योर प्रायोरिटी, तो अभी हम लोग जब सर्च करते थे, हम सर्च करते थे लॉ फर्म्स डीलिंग विद आर्बिट्रेशन, लॉ फर्म्स डीलिंग विद जनरल कॉप वर्क। आज की जनरेशन में स्टूडेंट्स आर डीलिंग लॉ फर्म्स पेइंग 50K, मिनिमम 50K इन आर्बिट्रेशन, लॉ फर्म्स पेइंग मिनिमम 15 lakhs इन कॉर्पोरेट लॉ। तो वो जो आप फिगर को आपने अपने करियर के सक्सेस से फिक्स कर दिया था, नहीं मेरी तो करियर की स्टार्ट ही मिनिमम 20 लाख से होगी या 15 लाख से होगी, तो वहां पर आपने मेंटरशिप का स्कोप ही खत्म कर दिया। बिकॉज द फर्म्स विच आर पेइंग यू सच हाई अमाउंट, ऑनेस्टली दे दे आर रनिंग ऑन अ वेरी फास्ट टाइम लैप्स, क्योंकि client is paying them 3 to 5 times more because time is of utmost essence for the client also, and therefore for the team members also to deliver within that timeline। तो उनके पास आपको मेंटरशिप करने का टाइम ही नहीं होगा, विद इवन इफ दे हैव द बेस्टेस्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट फॉर यू। बट द वंस हु कैन एक्चुअली टेक आउट सम टाइम, जहां पर इतना ज्यादा क्लाइंट प्रेशर नहीं, दे कैन नॉट पे यू दैट मच बिकॉज दे डोंट हैव दोज हाई पेइंग क्लाइंट हु आर पेइंग फॉर द टाइम। तो अभी वो जो प्रायोरिटीज, अगेन ये भी जो डिसबैलेंस है कि यू वांट टू लर्न और यू वांट टू अर्न। अभी पहले पहले तक लोग सरस्वती पे फोकस करते थे लक्ष्मी की तरफ जाने पे, अभी पहले लक्ष्मी पे फोकस कर रहे हैं सरस्वती की तरफ जाने पे, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो अनदर थिंग विच इज अ चैलेंज। थर्ड थिंग इज कम्युनिकेशन गैप, द मैनर इन विच यू शुड कम्युनिकेट। अच्छी चीज इंडिया में ये है कि अभी वेस्टर्नाइजेशन को हम कॉपी करते हुए कि ये सर मैम दीदी भैया का कल्चर जा रहा है, बट उसका एक बहुत बड़ा ड्रॉबैक ये भी है कि अभी जो हमारा सीनियर के लिए रिस्पेक्ट रहती थी, दैट ओके दिस पर्सन हैज एटलीस्ट 1 year मोर एक्सपीरियंस देन आई हैव, और 5 years और 10 years और वट एवर, धीरे धीरे वो रिस्पेक्ट जाती जा रही है, विच इज वेरी रॉन्ग बिकॉज द मोमेंट आई एम कॉलिंग अ सीनियर विद देयर नेम, like at least till my time we still hold that respect, even if I call a lot of seniors with their names, but I still have that respect that okay, like does not matter the age, but if somebody has more knowledge than I have, I will have respect for them कि ठीक है I can learn something। but वो अभी नहीं हो रही। उस तरीके से क्या हो रहा है कि हमारा ईगो इतना सेंसिटिव होता जा रहा है। अभी मेरे पास एक आध स्टूडेंट्स आए जिन्होंने ये बोला कि हाउ कुड द सीनियर से दैट मेरा काम गलत था। तो वो अगर आपके पहले से ही ये क्वेश्चन आपके दिमाग में रहेगा कि कोई मुझे गलत ठहरा ही कैसे सकता है, विच मीन्स यू आर सेइंग दैट आई एम परफेक्ट, एंड द मोमेंट you believe that you are perfect, you will not be open to constructive criticism or feedback, and if you will not be, तो आपका काम गलत होगा, काम गलत होगा तो आप डांट खाओगे, डांट खाओगे तो फिर से इमोशनल मेंटल हेल्थ ऑल इश्यूज होंगे। तो ये काफी सारी चीजें अगर हम इन पे फोकस करें तो काफी हद तक हम अपने हेल्थ को कंट्रोल सिक्योर करके रख सकते हैं।
Right,
एंड
right.
अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग एट द सेम टाइम कि टॉक्सिक कल्चर्स नहीं होते। कुछ हैं ऐसे भी चेंबर्स हु आर नोन टू हैव देयर ओन sense of toxicity, but they are known to everyone. So I don't think we need to emphasize on who are those chambers and what kind of toxicity do they promote.
Yeah, yeah. I think there are a lot of aspects to look into, like the for getting the right work life balance, first thing is like you have to pick up the profession based on your passion, and also you have to be open for mentoring. As you said, like the constructive kind of criticism is something that we have to be open for. We should not be kind of living in a shell and then assuming that everything we do is right. So there are a lot of aspects to kind of adopt to have a right balance, as you said, Sammanika. So there are a lot of other things that I would like to actually talk to you, but with the limited constraints of the time, we may have to kind of put this to a break for now. That was really insightful conversation with you, Sammanika, on the legal career related tips for a successful progression in the career. With that, I'm winding up the show, StarTalks on Advotalks, and we frankly thank you for the time that you have fetched today.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind invitation. And I hope with a limited set of questions I could cater to, I hope some people are able to get some value, if not many. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, viewers, that's about today's episode with Sammanika Rawat on success formula for the legal career. For more updates on the legal subjects, please follow our website www.advotalks.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Advotalks.